We've got a fairly deep secondary, and so there's a lot of positional crossover. So right now it's trying to figure out, once we come back from spring break, who are the guys that we're going to try to get a few extra reps at that nickel position, Husky position, and try to build depth for us as a defense, which is something that we did not have in the secondary, a year ago. And really that, that hurts you, right? When you're in games like Tennessee and all of a sudden our 1 and 2 Husky go down, and then our 3 Husky goes down, and somebody else is in there, and so we need to try to build that overlap.
The Tennessee example that he's talking about, it directly led to Alabama losing that game. I mean, there was a lot of plays that contributed, but King Mack really, he had the physicality and everything to play Husky, but him being 5'10", that's not what you want. When you get him in those man-to-man matchups down there in the red zone, Chris Brazel, like 6'5" receiver, they kind of throw it up to him, let him go get it, pretty easy pitch and catch. But the lack of height from King Mack, when they really had to start working into that depth, that ended up being a direct contributor to Alabama losing a football game.
Yeah.
So that's what he's talking about. And what I find interesting is we've heard so many good things about Dijon Lee. We've heard so many good things about Zay Mincy and how he's progressing. We've heard good things about Drake Kirkpatrick Jr. Cam Calhoun is another one. Now, we know Drake Kirkpatrick, he's been seeing reps at Husky. We know Red Morgan's been seeing reps there. We know Deshaun Jones. Those have been kind of the 3 main guys. But what I found interesting about that clip is he started saying, okay, we need some more overlap. Maybe some guys that we're looking, it's like, okay, they're doing some really good things at another spot, maybe at corner, maybe a Dijon Lee. But you know what? We got Xavier Brown, we got Damani Jackson. So it would be nice if we could get this guy some positional flexibility, despite the fact that he's a freshman. And hey, who knows? Maybe if we need to make some of those in-game adjustments, we start losing some guys like against Tennessee. Imagine if you could have put a Dijon Lee in the slot there. I don't think the result's the same. He's 6'4". I mean, the length and size would have absolutely been there. Probably a different outcome, and who knows what would have happened with the game overall. Or you're talking about, hey, Zay Mincy, hell of a safety, gonna be a hell of a safety, but you got Bray Hubbard, you got Keon Keeley, who's out for the spring, but it's like, okay, maybe we should see about, okay, how can we get him more involved? He deserves probably, I mean, he was a starter in the bowl game. He looked good. Maybe we can do some things as far as moving some pieces around, maybe getting him some positional flexibility where, hey, if these things start happening, Zay Mincy is ready to come in as a safety, or he's ready to come in as a Husky. But the 2 guys that I would look for as far as what Kane Wommack's talking about, guys who could get additional Husky reps once next week gets underway, it would probably be Dijon Lee, and it would probably be Zay Mincy.